Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. I don't know about y'all, but by the time we reach Friday, I am so ready for the weekend. And today we're going to be using the Light Seers Tarot to get our topic for today, see what cards we get to read the energy, see what advice Spirit, Universe, God, George, whatever you want to call it, has for us as we head into this weekend. And also, having just come out of that Taurus new moon, I did want to say, you know, really right now, one of the things we need to be mindful of, be aware of, is what we're putting out there with our thoughts and emotions, because new moon is a time of new beginnings, setting new intentions. Make sure that you're clear on what you want when you are thinking. Also, be very cautious because as we become more spiritually aware and more open in our energy, we can pick up on the energies of people around us. And so, if you have sudden emotions that come to you where you just like, why am I feeling this? Number one, it may not be you. You can walk by somebody at the grocery store and pick up on what they're feeling, and then start to try and identify how it relates to you. It may not. Some things we just have to go, that's not mine. Get out of my energy. And, you know, use your own method, technique. But I'm like, fuck off. You're not mine. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Get on down the road. Not my emotion. No, I'm not adopting you. It's just something I wanted to mention because, again, the more open and aware that we become, the more we can be influenced by the things around us and end up feeling things that aren't ours to feel. And if we identify, if we sit with it too long to try and figure out how it fits us, we'll find a reason and then feel that emotion that wasn't even ours. So, just a side note, something that popped up that seemed important to share. So, let's get our card for today. What is the wisdom for today? The Two of Pentacles. So, the Two of Pentacles is really about juggling and making decisions, kind of weighing out two options and or juggling priorities. What do I do? What do I put first? What's the best thing I can do in this situation? How do I move forward from here? That actually relates to what we've been talking about previously this week, because if we are going to be good stewards of our resources, our time, our energy, our money, um, and also taking pride in our accomplishments, then we have to have some focused intention behind it. We have to decide, well, what is my priority? Um, and that's something that I think we all struggle with from time to time. And again, almost like feeling someone else's emotion, what has someone else prioritized in my life that isn't really a priority for me? Where is my time, where are my resources being pulled away from me by other people's priorities? And why did I allow that to get on my list when it's not mine? Um, or situations where, yes, someone needs help, but you don't have the space for it, and you're juggling. Do I try to do this? Is it how much is it impacting my life? Is it worth the trade-off for what I really desire to accomplish and how I want to live my life? Have I opened the door to things that are taking away from, at an extreme level, what's truly important to me? So when we have the Two of Pentacles, it can indicate that we are either A, taking on too much, or B, we need to make a decision. What is mine? What is not mine? What is my priority? What is not my priority? And sometimes, like in this, where you see she's got like the purse, and it almost looks like it's like a star. Which one do you let go? And it can be a very, very tough decision, because you can have multiple things in your life that are important to you. However, when you run out of the resources to sustain both things, something's got to give. And it can't be you. We talked about that on Wednesday. You can't be the thing that gives, because if so, there's no juggler. Everything hits the ground. So when you're looking at what are my priorities, this is where we kind of have to sit back, reflect. You know, I've put this much energy into both of these things. Which one of them truly supports where I want to be, where I want to go, what I'm growing into? And then future cast in the scenario, if I drop this one, what will the outcome likely be from what I know now? If I drop this one, what will the outcome likely be? Or is it possible that instead of actually just dropping something, is there a way that I can slow it down? Remember, we talked about patience, where instead of pushing so hard for both things, can I balance the energy of both by maybe shrinking them back a little bit? Yeah, it's going to take me longer in both scenarios, but if I can't decide which one is a bigger priority or more of a necessity in my life, can I scale back a little bit, slow the timeline? I'll still reach both things without taking myself out of the equation. So, and again, I feel like this is something that's very uh, prevalent right now in the energetic field is the universe, God, spirit, George, again, whatever you call your higher power. Um, what do we want? And we have to be very clear about what we want. And sometimes we haven't come to that clarity within ourselves of what we want. And so we've got all these things floating around that we're not really sure. But we can't co create with the universe if we don't know what we want. So I really, the energy that we're dealing with right now is asking us, what do you want? And are your actions reflecting what you want? Where are you investing your time? Where are you investing your resources? Does that reflect what you truly want? Or is it an obligation? Someone else's expectation? Is it something that you feel like you have to do because when you grew up, that was what you were told, or that was society's expectation wherever you happen to be in the world? Is that a cultural thing for you? Is it a family thing where in your subconscious mind, it is your responsibility to handle this because that's what society says? Well, to be frank, fuck them. The only way that we evolve as a human race is to do things different, is to change. And sometimes what we need to get away from is something that is so deeply rooted in our culture, in our families, in our traditions, in our heritage, that for us to step away from that can meet with a lot of disapproval from the outside. However, again, we are at a point in time, if we are ever going to reach what is important to us, our true definition of joy and fulfillment, purpose, satisfaction, pride in our lives, we have to do what resonates for us as individuals. Yes, there may be generations of our family that took care of our elders, and that's great. However, if I use my resources to hire someone to take care of my elder and pursue my dream and create generational wealth, am I doing a better thing because I am contributing to the future generations in an amazing way and setting up my family bloodline for so much success? Or do I not do that, spend all of my time and resources over here, and leave everyone else hanging? I mean, they're big choices, they're not small things. And I think so many of us are struggling with these types of things right now because where we're at energetically with the Pluto and Aquarius, and it's about individuals. Well, hold on. It's about the collective, but about being eccentric, about being different, about doing new things. We're at a point in time. I mean, look at what's happening globally in governments and reorganization. And, there is so much happening right now about change. Change. And these are the points in history. If you look back at the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, I mean, it's all revolutionary energy. the French Revolution, the American Revolution. I mean, like, people were like, I've fucking had it with the way this stuff's being done. It's wrong. It's not right. It doesn't make sense. We've got to do something new. Well, and that can be us right there going, do I go for the new thing? Do I actually go for the new thing, even though this baggage of all of our generational social expectation is weighing me down about having the courage to step into the new thing? Am I going to be judged? Will people approve? Who cares? Honestly, how about this? Ask yourself in this way. Do I want to just do what's expected of me and live a mediocre life? Or am I willing to face some disapproval, some judgment from the outside world that I don't have to let hurt me anyway, because that only has the energy I give it. If I don't give power to people's judgment and disapproval, it doesn't hurt me. We have that choice also. So, do I want to just do what's expected of me, live the status quo, go through my mediocre day to day so that everyone else is happy? Or do I want to drop this bullshit and go for the thing that's going to drive me forward with passion and excitement and fulfillment, and usher in new opportunities, not only for myself, but for the generations to come? And that's where we're, like, what do I do? Well, I got to tell you, I think the best choice that we can make is to go ahead and not give power to the things outside of us and follow our heart. We're being encouraged to do that right now. And it takes so much courage to go against the grain, to take the road less traveled, to be the eccentric person. Because if you look back at some of the greatest personalities in our history, they were completely misunderstood in their time. It wasn't until years later that there was real appreciation for what they did. Like, they didn't go to their graves celebrated because they were misunderstood. They were like the black sheep, the crazy old lady over there, But then a generation later, they were revered for their wisdom and their foresight, and the change that they brought in through hold on through having the courage to be different, to go against the grain, to make decisions that society at that time didn't understand, that completely impacted how future generations were able to live. So when we're looking at what choice do I make, we have to step outside of right now, in this moment. Is it going to be uncomfortable because of the disapproval? Yeah, it is. But we're also at a time in history where we need to allow the things that no longer serve us to fall away. And that can also, it hurts. It hurts to let go of relationships that have been impactful in our lives, or, you know, when we move and grow energetically, spiritually, things just are no longer resonant, that aren't meant to go forward with us. You may have had a friend that has been a part of your life since childhood, and as you proceed on this path and you start making the new decisions and changing your perspectives and your beliefs, and your energetic frequency rises, you'll find that some of those people just, you don't click anymore. There's nothing currently that you can talk about that you share. And the only thing that you have in common is reflecting on the past. And your conversations don't seem stimulating anymore. You just don't feel that connection. And that's the universe telling you that, look, this person, this relationship, this job, this home, whatever, was great for who you were. But for who you're becoming, that's not where you need to invest. And like I said, that's scary. That is scary, along with all these other changes that are happening around us, within us, and trying to make these tough choices. And At the end of the day, if we are willing to let go of the expectations and ask ourselves, what do I truly want? Because it's not being selfish. There's a reason there's a burning desire or a path that you want to take. There's a reason for that. And when you follow your heart, you have to trust that even though some things may be falling away, some things may be changing, people may not approve, there's a reason you want to pursue this. It's for your own personal soul growth and the contribution it's going to have for the greater collective. And again, you may go to your grave not realizing that what you did when you followed this new thing, by the next generation, they're going to have a statue for you because of the impact that you had that you were ridiculed for while you were alive. Are you willing to take that risk? It's a tough choice. So, really get into your heart. What inspires you? What calls to you? What are you holding on to because it's an expectation, not your expectation, or that you feel like you're obligated to do because that's what people do in your family or that's what people do in your community? Do those things resonate with you, or are you just like, I guess I have to? Are you going to settle? Because right now, that's what the universe is asking you. Are you willing to settle? Because if you're willing to settle, they'll let you be. But if you truly desire those things in your heart and you put that out there, I'm ready. I want the new things. I want the new path. Then the universe will step up and help you make that happen. And trust me, they'll do so much better than you could do on your own. Things will fall in your lap because you just put it out there that I'm ready for my new life to begin. I'm ready to let go of this old shit that isn't even mine. That I've been carrying my whole life and molding my entire life around because I was afraid that people would disapprove of who I want to be, of who I am. Drop the mask. Drop the expectations, drop the need for approval. Let it go, because that's what's in this bag, and it stinks. What's in this bag is what you've truly wanted your whole life, how you want to feel, how you want your day to day to be. And so be willing to take that risk for you, for the future generations, for the impact you're meant to make on the world. Don't let the expectations of others or the need for the approval of others keep you small. Okay? Be you, big, beautiful, wonderful you, and bring that amazing thing into the world that's in your soul. It's part of your soul map for this lifetime, for you to create this thing. And until you drop the bag of shit, you can't move forward. It's like an anchor. It keeps you where you're at. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you settling for mediocrity, and you're meant for so much more. So take some time today and reflect on what things in your life are you doing because of others that you don't even want to do, or that are actually detracting from your happiness or keeping you away from the things where you want to be spending your time and resources. And are you willing to let go of that so that you can have the things that you desire and become the person you're meant to be without being drug into situations that don't serve you? So, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon.